All right, here we are back at it. Live from RWA Inc. We are today going to tap into Town Hall number 4. A ton of exciting things on the hand today, right, Kevin? So
Oh yeah.
we're uh, we're looking forward to sharing a lot of things that's happening in the background. As you know, RWA Inc. never stands still, so many things are happening that you might not be able to see every single day. And what we want to make sure is that you get a sneak peek into the future. And that's, of course, what the town hall is all about, talking about what is coming, what can you be expecting from the RWA project, and why should you still stay around, listen in, and be a part of the community. So let me just right away hand it over to you,
Yeah,
Kevin, and thank you for joining today.
I'm happy to be here, and I do agree with Mike. There are so many things going on right now behind the scenes, and really, what you have been seeing is that we have been very successful in all our milestones. We actually completed everything we promised in Q1, and we are now preparing a very, very, very massive Q2. It will be nothing like you've seen in Q1. It will be many, many times more aggressive, you can say. And really, what we are now putting all our efforts into, from actually the entire company plus more people, is to scale on our organization. We are bringing more talent, top talent, into RWA Inc. now. And there will be a massive announcement and a press release coming soon around a very, very special board member that we are bringing in. So we can't say too much, but we can say that it's a very experienced international person that has had head of global sales roles in Microsoft, and also manage billions of dollars as we speak. So we are here to learn a lot from this person, and he will be joining me, Mike, AJ, and the other leadership in really structuring how we can massively scale this investor focus. As you all know, we are building the world's largest database and uh, you can say network within both institutional investment, accredited investors, but also direct to the retail. So it's super exciting. But it's not only that. We are also bringing in new advisors. Actually, is it three, Mike, advisors in total? And this again is to perfect our strategy and really also um, get new insights on how things in specific uh, parts of the organization can be scaled massively. So that's what's going to happen, and we will bring all the news in the announcement. So please stay with us in the community and keep reading every day the great announcements that are there. Yeah. Yeah, so as I said, we really are now transforming yet again into now a very, very serious, you can say, uh, organization that really helps the VCs, the institutionals, and the accredited investors with really just deploying capital. They don't need to think so much because we have done all the due diligence. We are ready, and we are helping the companies we onboard with successful launches. So basically, the asset class we're creating here is very, very unique. It really takes away all the work from the VCs and the institutionals, and they can basically just deploy the capital into us. And Mike, Ryan, and the team will make sure that the launches are successful, just like you saw with our launch. So yeah, massive talent is coming, and you should look very much forward for that. Please go ahead, Mike. And, yeah, and also when you're looking behind the curtains, you see a much more streamlined organization. I mean, it's it's just great to see that we are actually building now all the automation, all the AI, and all the processes are now running, and we are perfecting these things together with our great team. So there will be massive outreach, there will be massive interactions on various touch points with all the investors, and everything is about conversion and results, right? Ultimately, it's the numbers that count. We can be excited, we can be nice, but in the end, you need to see progress, and that is what we're bringing now. So if you calculate like how much we scale, it's around 1000x on the effort. So that gives you a little bit of, you can say, indication of how massive this push is. And this is probably the most exciting times, Mike, we have since the beginning, because now we are really seeing the last big task here being prepared, and that is to bring in massive dry powder from the investors. Yeah. So also, I will be doing a lot more AMAs, a lot more podcasts, and I'm really trying to get the word out there. We will be much more focused on, you know, bringing news about the industry, connecting with the industry. We have Waldemar, who's bringing so many good partners to our shores, but we will really start now to interact more actively in the media. So I hope you will see us out there on various platforms very soon. Yeah, I'll bring
Wonderful.
the mic to you, Mike.
Yeah, so let me just say a few words before I jump into that document that I just or that slide that I just opened up here. So as you can hear from Kevin, so many things are happening. You know, we're bringing on massively professional institutional investors and people that have been in some of the biggest companies in the world, right? And not just been hired there, but been sitting at the global executive levels, right?
Yeah,
And I think everyone listening into this, what you need to start to understand is that we're pretty real about this. We're not like typical Web3 companies or projects. We are here to establish the biggest, ecosystem for fundraising for startups out there. And that is only where we start. What's really exciting about this is that we have network, we have trust in the Web2 world that we can actually utilize to bring something that pretty much no other Web3 company is able to do because they don't have that network. They don't have the Web2 experience or the Web2, cadence. And that's so different. So it might take time, but it's valuable time. And I can tell you a lot is happening in the background. So as I said, for the RWA investor platform, which was really what we spoke about last time, that we want to build this one ecosystem where everyone can invest in anything. Of course, we start with startups and then we can move to other asset classes later on, like real estate, commodities, etc. But we want to start with one asset class that everybody knows, and that is the startup asset class or stock, if you want. Of course, it starts with utility tokens and then it moves over to equity tokens later on, but that is all a part of what we're going to talk about when we get to the actual licenses. Today, we have completed the whole structure of our project acceleration. We already have 10 clients onboarded now. We have hired a head of client services, which will be announced very, very soon. Also, a person with massive experience, been in projects where he has raised more than $15 million. He has been leading tech teams at Apple as one of the brands that he's been working with. And it means that we are bringing true talent into this project, true professional doxed people. But that means that the project acceleration is actually fine tuned and we can now start launching a lot of great projects. Of course, we need some of the market conditions and some of the different things to follow through a bit. But other than that, we are completely ready. When it comes to the private fundraising, this is something that we found was extremely important to fix because today private fundraising is a tedious process. One thing is that it's taken a lot of time, it is not very structured, and it's actually very insecure if you want. This means that whenever people go out and fundraise, people might try to impersonate that person and go out and try to fundraise on that project but actually scamming people. And we want to make sure that can never happen again. Everything should go through trusted platforms, true transparency, and the opportunity to get everything gathered in one place. This also means that in the future, or actually already now, you can do this with us, but in the future, it will be on the platform itself that you can lock in, use your gold tiering, and you can invest into early stage startups to be able to get those very massive multiplier opportunities because you get in early. And I think we all have heard this word early. It's such a very common, Web3 crypto language, but this is really true. This is your access to early stage startups, something that no one has done before. Today, it's only angels, bigger angels, and VCs that can do this, but now it's going to be every single one of you. Of course, also the angels, the VCs, and the institutionals, because those we will bring to the table. The public crowdfunding platform is, of course, also already done and ready. The only thing missing right now is that we need to have some of our projects go into the actual IDO period. This has all been paused and been delayed because of the market conditions, but we are starting to see more and more of them moving around, seeing that these next few months could be very interesting. So we definitely hope that we will see a bunch of very good launches happening over the next quarter. Finally, we of course have the public trading. Public trading really means that this is the decentralized exchange that we're going to build to list all of our client tokens, but also assets in the future on. And this means that we are building an ecosystem, as you can see, from the launch moment to actual fundraising and then also live trading. All trusted in one platform, fully regulated, fully licensed, and following all procedures for us to gain access to the bigger and the more established both Web3 and Web2 investors. And as you can see, we expect the complete ecosystem here on this page to be done towards the end of Q2 or beginning of Q3. Fundraising, the private fundraising piece will be done surely in Q2, and the public trading might drag slightly into Q3, but we are trying to aim for Q2. And if we talk a bit about Q1, because Kevin mentioned we completed a lot of things. And I think it's important that we all understand we did really complete a lot of things. First of all, we expanded the team completely with all of the necessary hires, both on the client side, development side, and also even the advisory and board side. We also managed to get 5+ projects onboarded. Actually, we got 10. This means that we managed to do a 200% on the client side in Q1 alone. And this has, of course, driven a massive excitement in the client community, meaning that we have a lot of interesting inbounds. A lot of people want to work with us now because they see that we bring value. We did a massive marketing expansion, very big, KOL collaborations. We did a lot of paid ads marketing. We did a massive amount of exchange listings and pushes, and we really managed to get a lot of exposure to the project in the market. We also started developing the RWA AI agents, the agents that will live in the platform to help you do due diligence and research on the projects that we launch in the future. This means that this AI agent will actually make it possible for you not to have to research projects anymore, but you can just have conversations with someone that knows everything about those projects. Ask them questions about how experienced is the team? Do they have a proper roadmap? Where is the product development? Do they have a business plan? And everything else. So that's going to be truly exciting to integrate into the ecosystem as well. The RWA DEX was also kicked off on the development side, which means that we have already started those steps. We know now that it will take at least about 3 months to get it done, which is why it is at the end of Q2, beginning of Q3. We also started developing the private investment platform, which we know will be done in Q2. And we believe that it's going to be, I would say, most likely in May that we see this platform coming out. We also implemented Binance Wallet and Coinbase Wallet SDKs in the platform. And this meant that we have been able to apply for a Binance Wallet whitelisting. The Binance Wallet whitelisting, of course, makes it possible for anyone in the world using the Binance Wallet to see us, our platform, and our ecosystem. And then we applied for 3 regional broker/security licenses, and that is all undergoing right now. And we have some really interesting updates on this as well. If we look at Q2, because I know you're all interested in what's going to happen in the next quarter, a lot is going to happen. We are going to expand the board with a very experienced asset manager. We are going to expand the investor database, as Kevin mentioned multiple times. We are going to complete the RWA private investment platform. We also expect to complete the DEX, but that might slip into Q3, as mentioned before. We do expect the RWA AI agents to be in the platform in Q2. We also believe that we will reach at least 10,000 KYC users on the RWA investor platform. We do have the tier 1 listing, as everyone is waiting for and everyone is hoping for, on the list still. And it is something that we're spending a ton of energy on. The problem, though, is that without market conditions supporting it, it can be difficult. But we're going to do everything we can to work with brands like Bybit, OKX, and others. We also aim to sign 10 plus RWA and DPIN projects as clients during this period. And then we aim to launch 5 of the current clients that we have on board. So you will see, hopefully, a good handful of IDOs coming out over the next 3 months. And then we want to complete at least 1 broker security license, which is making it possible for us to raise funds in a very, very, unique manner through the private investment platform and the public crowdfunding. That will all be possible fully legally and under full compliance. And then, as you all know, we will be doing buyback and burns based on the Q1 realized revenue. And I'm sure you're looking forward to hearing more about that. For H2, I think it's still pretty clear, stays the same as we did in the beginning of the year, focusing on launching some really great projects, fundraising for these projects, getting them on our decentralized exchange as that goes live in Q3 or Q2, and then aim to also add more clients to our database. But also make sure that we have full broker and security license set up, added to both Europe and most likely UAE. And then we want to begin actual startup equity tokens. And this means that we will be adding securities to our ecosystem as well. So not anymore can you only invest into the utility of a project, but you can actually also invest into the ownership, the fractionalized equity of a project. And that will all happen this year. If we look a bit at the product, because I mentioned this a few times, we are really looking at a 4-level ecosystem. The ecosystem will hold these AI agents that can research and report on the projects that you are interested in. This means that they can do the full end-to-end DD on the project, making sure that you know exactly what you're investing into and helping you make the right decisions. We will also have the private fundraising section, where it will be possible for anyone to invest in projects at $1,000 plus. This means that you get access to these early stage opportunities like never before. The public fundraising section is something that people have seen before, and this is really where it's smaller tickets, opportunities on any public setup. And finally, the DEX section will, of course, make it possible for everyone to trade live the projects that we are launching and the assets that will come to chain later. So this really makes it one combined ecosystem, very simply set up, and the RWA token will be a key feature to all of it. Because for you to be able to use these different features, you need to hold and stake the RWA token, just as the other hundreds of thousands of investors that we want to try to bring to this platform. On the marketing side, I know that a lot of people in our community has said, when more marketing? The thing is that when the market goes haywire and Trump decides to do things that makes everyone uncertain, and the uncertainty in the market starts spreading, then we see that paid marketing doesn't work as well as we want it to, because it's almost like shouting into the abyss. No one is listening. And that means that you would just be burning money for no reason. And we, of course, don't want to burn anyone's money. We want to spend this money as effectively as possible, making sure that every single dollar that we put into marketing should either lead to more clients, more investors, or more awareness for the RWA project. So we have still been testing a few different things on the paid ad side, meaning that we want to still be able to ramp up as soon as the market starts picking up. We know exactly where to deploy the cash. At the same time, we've also been running a massive amount of organic content, as you can see from every daily update. And we've planned a bigger rollout here in Q2 because now we get our new website out, we get our Q2 buyback and burns out, we get our new product releases, and also client launches, hopefully. So a ton of things will happen here in Q2. And this really takes me to the new website. I'm not going to go through the new website with you today because that's going to be a little bit of a surprise. But what I can tell you is that this new website is talking our language now. Anyone that visits our platform will be able to understand exactly what we do, why we do it, and how we do it. And it will make sure that both investors and projects will feel very clear about the vision and mission, and also how we can help them and why we bring so much value. This website will go live very soon. So stay tuned to be able to hear the latest news on the new website. And just for everyone to know, I think some of you have already seen this if you're part of the private funding section, but we do have 4 projects in private fundraising. And this means if you are interested, reach out to us or sign up for our ecosystem and KYC to be able to get access to these 4 super exciting projects. We also have 4 or 5 more clients that will go live into fundraising in the next few weeks. So it will be a bigger amount of opportunities at hand.
Yeah.
And one thing that's important, because we normally have AJ here. AJ is our CFO, as you know. And AJ, he luckily got his new baby son this week, which means that we unfortunately couldn't force him to come on the call because family does come first sometimes.
Indeed.
But that shouldn't mean that we do not have something from AJ. So AJ put together a slide for me to present. And as you can see here, we had a record revenue month or quarter in Q1, which of course means that we will be able to do larger buyback and burns in Q2 than we anticipated. So that's, first of all, exciting. On the licensing side, we have been able to work with RAC DAO, the RAC Digital Assets Oasis, on both a CO5 consulting and management service license and a C10 digital creator marketplace service license. And what's really interesting about these is that it makes it fully compliant for us to do the fundraising. And we already have this completed in about 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, we will be fully licensed for these purposes through the RAC DAO. Additionally, we have also applied to the BVI investment business license. And what's important about this is that the BVI had never offered this as an opportunity before. It was only this year that it came live. And this means that we might be the first business in the world to be able to obtain such a license, making it possible for us to be commissioned under the CBA. And this is really, really exciting because this also comes with the opportunity for security and equity tokens. So as we, endeavor into these licenses and we get these different jurisdictions covered, we will be able to do things that very few people in the world can do, compliant, legally, and under all law. We are, of course, also applying to licenses in the UAE, as we do find this region as a very important region for the future. And as we can also see, we currently have 14.4% of the circulating supply staked today. And this is pretty much consistent with last month. So even though we have had a lot of, early investor releases, the same percentage has actually been staked ever since. And imagine when the new projects or products come out. Imagine when the licenses are fully secured. Imagine when the buyback and burns happen. A lot will happen to the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think Kevin and myself would love to say thank you all for spending time with us, believing in us, trusting the process and the project. We're here for you. We know you're here for us. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.